Good afternoon. My name is Mariama, and you're watching The Dating Game on RUTV. On today's show, we have Brendan Jenkins, who is the Engineering Department Supervisor right here at RUTV. Our friend is looking for the next engineering superstar to join his team. So Brendan, tell us a little bit about exactly what you're looking for.
Well, Mariama, I'm just looking for someone who has experience with utilizing field equipment, such as the equipment that we use for television production, such as cameras and audio equipment, things like that.
Awesome. All right, now we have our first contestant. She's an adorable, aspiring engineer. Let's give it up for Sylvia. Sylvia, thank you so much for coming on to our show today. All right, so we're going to start off with a situational question. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Let's say you're doing equipment checks and you notice that some of the RUTV video equipment has gone missing. You also know that before any segment producer signs the equipment out, they must sign the clipboard labeled sign out sheet. Now, what would you do to try and figure out where the equipment has gone?
I would not jump into conclusion yet. I will try to send out email to all the staff and asking about where the equipment is. And I will try to have small talks with the person who last signed out the equipment and try to find out where the things are.
Okay, that was a great answer, don't you think?
I agree.
Sylvia's response scored a 5 out of 5 because of her willingness to consider all employees as the potential wrongdoer. She did not jump to any conclusions and took different scenarios into consideration.
All right, so now moving on to our second question. This will be a behavioral question.
Okay.
Tell me about a time in which you were having equipment issues with very little time before a live broadcast in order to fix the problem. How did you go about solving the issue?
It will be, well, I'll try to get the spare equipment ready, and at the same time, I will call in the specialists to come in to, try to see if they can fix it on time for the show.
Right. Okay, that's great. I'm glad that she's not one to jump to conclusions, so that was an excellent answer.
Sylvia's response scored a 4 out of 5 because although she was a little brief, she had different backup plans prepared for this issue and refused to let the problem affect the broadcast.
All right, thank you so much, Sylvia.
Thank you.
We'll have you right back onto our show in a minute.
Thank you. No, I was supposed to move like this.
Okay. All right, now let's move on to our next contestant. He's also an aspiring engineer. Let's give it up for Ezra. Ezra, welcome to our show. Thank you so much for being here. Now, let's start off with a pretty simple question. You ready?
Sure.
Alrighty. Now, Ezra, let's say you're doing equipment checks and you notice that some of the RUTV video equipment has gone missing.
So?
Okay, you also know that before any segment producer signs out the equipment, they must sign our clipboard that is labeled sign out sheet. Now, what would you do first to try and figure out where the equipment has gone?
I probably just call my secretarian.
Your secretarian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I get one of those, right?
We'll talk. We'll talk.
Ezra's response scored a 1 out of 5 because he was not prepared for the interview and showed his experience by using the word secretarian.
Let's move on to the next question, shall we?
Yeah.
All right. Now, the next question is a behavioral one. Ready? Tell me about a time in which you were having equipment issues with very little time before a live broadcast in order to fix the problem. How did you go about solving this problem? I need Jay now, Ezra.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So I just bought a new camera.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just used.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that unprofessional?
It was great. It was great.
It was great.
Good efforts. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Ezra's response scored a 1 out of 5 for his unprofessional manner when answering the question. He also gave an outlandish answer that wasn't applicable to the question. The two interviews were both high in procedural fairness and interactional fairness, because the questions used for both interviews were identical, while the two candidates were both treated with respect.
All right. Now, please give us a moment. Brendan and I need to deliberate.
I will. I'll just get out of here.
Okay. So, Brendan, what are you thinking? Tell me who you're leaning towards. We had two interesting contestants.
I think interesting is the right word. The first candidate definitely offered some professional answers.
She seemed very well prepared for her interview.
She did.
Yeah.
The second candidate,
Questionable.
I'm not sure how to describe
Questionable
that.
man, but
Yeah, definitely.
all right. So I guess we know who we're going with,
I
right?
think so.
All right. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, after careful deliberation, Brendan and I have decided that RUTV's newest engineer will be Sylvia. Give it up for Sylvia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm so
Congratulations.
happy. Thank you. I'll be working with you.
Yes, you start on Monday. Woo! Thank you so much, and catch us next week as we find the newest hairstylist for the salon right down the block. Thank you so much. I'm Mariama Oluwahuje. No.